Conor, you're back.
I never went nowhere. I've been here.
Oh! He slapped him! Conor McGregor!
Conor, another brilliant performance. 13 wins, 12 knockouts, unbelievable. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Dana, 60 G's, baby!
A bunch of gloves is gonna get laid on that pretty face, brother. Keep it clean for me.
I'm gonna box his ears off me hands down. Max, I'm gonna box you down with my hands down.
We saw the last time what happened that you did in boxing. In boxing.
Anyway, Joe, quiet.
Come on.
Joe, I'm gonna come out of this fight unscathed.
Dana White was surprised after watching Conor McGregor's latest UFC 329 training video. He said Conor looks fresh, powerful, and ready to fight Max Holloway. Watch until the end to hear Dana's warning about Conor's knockout power. With only 2 weeks left before bite, he was training at Laguna Beach in California, throwing punches in front of people walking by. People nearby stopped and watched because they couldn't believe it was really Conor. This wasn't just another workout, it was Conor's way of showing everyone that it. The video quickly went viral across the MMA world. Fans, podcasts and Reddit couldn't stop talking about it. Even those who believed Conor was finished had to take another look. What they saw wasn't a 37-year-old fighter just promoting a fight. They saw a focused and determined Conor McGregor. In the video, Conor looked lean and confident. He even showed the punch that he believes will knock out Max Holloway at UFC 329.
No fucking way! Yo, that's fucking crazy!
What is he doing, bro? What is he doing, dude?
That's how smooth you need to play, yeah?
Mr. McGregor!
Incognito, yes.
You right, bro?
Hello, my man.
You good?
Good.
That's dope. That's dope.
Keep down. You pick a flick. Of course I will. Come on, let's go.
Oh my God, ready?
Conor, how difficult has it been recovering from the injury and, just going through this 5 years of being on the sidelines?
Joe, I'm strong. I'm strong-minded. And you've got to be. So what other option had I got but to get back on my feet again and build myself back up? And I relished the opportunity to do so. And that's it. Here I am back. What's done is done. What's in the past is in the past. Now, we are here in the future, and the fight is booked, and I am incredibly encouraged and excited to grace the octagon once again.
Well, we're incredibly excited to see you. Max, what are your thoughts on a guy like Conor being out for 5 years, having that brutal injury, while the entire time you've been very active?
It doesn't matter, I see a lot of people talking about it, but we're fighters, man. This is what we do. I can't wait, man. I'm looking.
Conor doesn't spend much time talking about what he lost during those 5 years. Patience and the opportunity to rebuild himself from the ground up. Fashion, the concept himself from the ground up. In his mind, the past no longer matters because he could have. Confidence is clearly still there. The only thing left is proving that confidence against one of the most dangerous turned against. The confidence that Conor is coming to.
Unfortunately for him, his opponent is a guy that's on the level in this fight in Max Holloway, which in turn makes the question more valid. Who do we see inside the octagon? My thought is we see a Conor McGregor that's as focused and committed as he has ever been. I don't know if with the injuries and the time away and the weight gains and now the weight loss and all these things, if that Conor McGregor, even if he is more motivated than ever, is enough to beat a Max Holloway. Now, that's no prediction. I'm just saying. But also, you don't get better at something by not doing it.
Yeah.
That's just the case, right? So you can train as hard as you want, but at the end of the day, it's still been about 4 or 5 years
Daniel Cormier doesn't believe motivation is Conor McGregor's biggest obstacle. In his view, the real concern is whether any fighter can spend nearly elite competition and return at the same level during Conor's much cause. Max Holloway never stopped facing world-class opponents and staying active against the best in the division. That kind of experience can't be recreated in training camp alone. It's a major advantage for Holloway, and one of the biggest reasons why experts remain so divided when predicting how this highly anticipated rematch will play out.
Consider all of the time that has passed. 5 years for him, though, outside of the octagon. Expectations for him with this big return.
Well, I'm inspired right now by Conor McGregor, and I don't think there's very many famous elitist millionaires that could inspire me, but he's tackling something big here. First off, that's the worst injury that I've ever seen. I've seen 3 other guys have it, but I've never seen an injury worse than this. He's returning to a weight class outside of his prime, which historically has never worked out successfully, even in the boxing world. And ultimately, he's signed up to do 5 rounds. Which in the best of days, when he could train and he had no injuries and he could push through and do whatever he wanted, was hard for him to do. So, I mean, it's kind of insurmountable. And that's before we start talking about where is he training? Why am I hearing that his training camp is in Ireland, but I see him on The Tonight Show, which is filmed out of California 2 days ago? I'm skeptical to the whole thing. I'm confident he's going through with this. I'm confident he will make the walk. But there's parts of me that are inspired by a guy willing to do that.
Yeah, and I think
Chael Sonnen sees this comeback from 2 very different perspectives. On one hand, he has a great few former champions would willingly return after such a devastating injury to face someone as dangerous as Max Holloway. As Morifontaine de Campiers, but at the same time, Chael still has serious questions about the preparation behind this comeback. Is Conor truly training with the same obsession that once made him a 2-division champion, or are fans only seeing carefully selected moments on social media? Until the cage door closes on fight night, nobody truly knows which version of McGregor will appear.
How do you think Conor's going to come back in his fight versus Holloway?
Here's what I can say. I've never seen a situation where coming back from such a long layoff is a good thing. Layoffs in this business are, you got to stay active. You got to stay busy. But again, you're talking about a guy like Conor who has that knockout power. And Max Holloway's, one of the greatest to ever fucking do it.
You know what Conor told me? He says, I want Khabib in Russia. Is he fucking awesome? He's like, I want Khabib in Russia. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Conor McGregor is a fucking unicorn. There's nothing like him.
Dana White understands both sides any fighter, especially against someone as accomplished as Max Holloway. But he also knows Conor McGregor has never been an ordinary athlete. From his fight-changing knockout power to the fearless mindset that made him a global superstar, Dana believes Conor is simply a one-of-one competitor.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what happens in that fight. Max definitely knocked me out, but I feel like I got that win back with the Ilya Topuria fight. I would love, as I've stated hundreds of times publicly, I would love to punch Conor McGregor in the face. Very, very difficult to even guess. I mean, with how long he's been out, I hope that he's, I'm sure that he has committed enough time, 8 months to training for one of these fights. And again, fighting's crazy. We have no idea what's going to happen. They're fighting at 170, so it makes it a little bit different. But yeah, I'm very interested to see what happens in that fight. Max definitely knocked me out, but I feel like I got that win back with the Ilya Topuria fight. And I would love, as I've stated hundreds of times publicly, I would love to punch Conor McGregor in the face. So
Justin Gaethje understands this matchup better than most. He refuses to make a confident prediction, and that's what makes his opinions of preparation. On one side is a refreshed Conor McGregor, returning after months of the preparation. On the other is Max Holloway, and has already proven he can survive against the very best. In Gaethje's eyes, this isn't a fight where anyone should pretend Boykins Gendi anked, they already know the outcome.
To see, like, it's like when Conor knocked out Jose Aldo. You ever see that shit where he was practicing that? He was like, no doubt.
But he was better than Conor overall. Because his wrestling
his career was certainly better than Conor's. But the thing about Conor is, in that first round particularly, he's so explosive and so quick.
Timing too.
Yes.
He comes in with the timing on fucking like dialed right in.
And that touch of death. He's got these big ass hands and he just fucking launches them at people. In that first round, he's one of the most dangerous guys alive.
For sure.
He's so good. And it's just, I wonder how he's going to come back with that leg break. Here it is. Here's him practicing. Like, he's doing like how Aldo moves, and then he's doing how he moves. Bam! That's it.
When Joe Rogan looks back at Conor's prime, one thing immediately comes to mind: his explosiveness. Few fighters in UFC history have been as dangerous in the opening minutes of a fight. His timing, his speed, and especially that famous left hand turned elite opponents into highlights. But now there's a new question attached to every conversation about McGregor. After everything his leg and way, when fight actually's been through, can he still move the same way when the fight actually begins?
The most dynamic personality the sport's ever known.
And he was, for a time there, just such an unbelievable fighter. I mean, he was it was incredible what he was doing.
The Eddie Alvarez fight.
Oh yeah, I was there.
Example.
I was there. Well, thanks to you. With really good seats, thanks to you. But that was one of the best. That might be the best fight I've ever been to live, because that whole card was just stacked, and that as the main event was just unbelievable.
Bro, he was in the Matrix. He was in the Matrix. He was just in the zone. You know, Dana said it best. He's like, that kid eats pressure. He goes, he eats it.
Yeah.
Like, he thrives on pressure. Pressure that makes other people wilt.
Yes.
He like shines under that pressure.
And he had an amazing ability, even very early in his career, which was like kind of, it was really unique. Like, because even like on his first fight ever, if you watch his first fight in the UFC against like Brimage, I think the guy's name is, and he was a relatively unknown at the time, but dude, the place is going nuts. He already had made so much kind of like street cred for himself, and then the Irish thing, like the Irish were really, really into it. But he, from the very first fight, he would always create these moments where it's like, dude, this is going to be the biggest spectacle that my opponent has ever been in their career. Like, I'm going to get you mad with shit talk, and I'm going to get the fans so excited, because he's completely comfortable there.
Right.
Like, I'm not.
Joe Rogan believes Conor McGregor's greatest strength was never just his striking or knockout power. It was his incredible ability to thrive under pressure. While many fighters struggle when the spotlight gets brighter, Conor always seemed to deliver his best performances when the stakes were at their highest, whether it was fighting for world expectations or carrying the weight of massive avoidings. He embraced every moment instead of avoiding it. That's why so many fans still believe in this comeback. Throughout his career, Conor has repeatedly proven that doubting him has often been the biggest mistake his opponents could make.
Conor still has the out pitch, if you will, that he needs to always at least retain that danger.
Well, that's a
Brian,
perfect...
if I could add to your thought,
chill,
if I could just add to Brian's thought when we're talking about the odds. Look, if somebody tells me they think Conor's going to win, what I'm hearing is they think Conor's going to knock him out. And if somebody's telling me they think Conor's going to knock him out, what I'm hearing is they think he's going to do it in the first round. That's probably the most likely way. Like, if Conor does get his hands raised, it's probably going to be quick and it's going to be violent, but he's going against Max, which outside of Ilia Topuria has never been knocked out, never even been knocked down. It's a really tough opponent. And I just bring that back to the part of me, put myself in Conor's shoes, the golden rule. It is inspiring. Like, this guy doesn't need the money. He doesn't need the fame. We talk about him on this program, whether he's fighting or not. We talk about him if he puts something out on social media. He doesn't need this. There's something inside of him that wants this. I can't relate to that. I've never had the level of success he's had, but there's something about this that's pretty cool.
Chael Sonnen believes Conor McGregor's path to victory is actually very straightforward, but far from easy. In his opinion, if Conor gets his hand raised, it's most likely because he scores an early knockout, probably within the opening rounds before Max Holloway has the chance to settle into his rhythm. The problem is that Holloway has built a career on surviving dangerous moments and breaking opponents with his relentless pace. Outside of Ilia Topuria, very few fighters have managed to truly hurt, let alone finish him. That's what makes this challenge so difficult. If the fight extends into the later rounds, Chael believes the momentum could slowly begin shifting toward Holloway.
If Ian and Conor both win or both lose, is the obvious next fight an Irish showdown? Yeah, it is now that you just said it. It is now that you just said it. Brendan Schaub did a piece and convinced me. And Brendan put this out about 2 months ago. And he said that Conor and Chandler is going to happen. And he said, no matter what happens to Chandler at the White House, he said, mark my words, they won't cut him. They'll hang on to Chandler and they'll keep him available for a December, January-esque showdown with Conor. Now, I like your idea with Ian as well, but Conor is up against it in ways that I've never seen. I can't think of anybody that has been...
One of the most interesting things about Conor McGregor is that people are discussing what comes after UFC 39, even before he has stepped into the octagon. Fans and analysts are throwing around potential super fights, future rivalries, and even another blockbuster event before this comeback has officially begun. But Chael Sonnen believe all of those as conversation most meaningless unless Conor gets past Max Holloway first. Everything about McGregor's future depends on what happens in this fight. A victory opens the door to countless opportunities, while a loss could completely change the direction of his career. That's why the stakes at UFC 329 couldn't be much higher.
I think it would be a great fight. I love both fighters. I love to watch them both. I'm a big fan of both. I think if Conor can put himself back into the grind and be hungry into that hell zone that, you know, he has to see it in a way that my
Mystic Mac. We need Mystic Mac back, where he's just in.
Yeah. To see like he's in the tunnel, but the light is after the fight. It's I have to go through that journey in order to see the light. But I'm not gonna put myself in the light until I'm done with the fight. That's if he put himself into that zone, we're gonna have a hell of a fight.
It's gonna be amazing.
Georges St. Pierre believes this isn't believing he possesses both. Conor has to push himself into places the real battle to GSP was willing to push enough McGregor that champion becomes most of places most fighters couldn't handle. If Conor has truly found that same hunger, same obsession, this becomes far more dangerous. That same obsession this fight becomes far more dangerous than many people expect.
I swear, my head is everything here. My head is everything. Come, I hope this. Then I hope this. Boom, boom, boom. Okay? Boom, boom, boom. The fight is over here. The fight is over here. And then I want this head. Boom, boom, boom. From here. Boom, boom, boom. End the fight. Forever. All day, all night. Why? His head is right here.
While most of the conversation has focused on Conor McGregor's return, Joe Rogan believes it's the same young prospect to remember the man's the same young prospect Conor defeated over a decade ago. Since then, he has built one of the greatest careers in UFC history, sharing the octagon with elite competition time and time again. After Coutantal, evolved after difficult losses, Holloway has never stopped evolving or backed away from the toughest challenges available. That experience is exactly why so many experts see him as such a dangerous opponent. This version of Max is tougher, smarter, more battle-tested, and far more complete than the fighter Conor faced in their first meeting.
I know Conor McGregor wins first time. He's been out from this game a long time.
Wow, yeah.
And then Max Holloway, he's been in the training. He's always in the shape. And then this benefit will help Max Holloway.
Mm-hmm.
But also, Conor McGregor, he's bigger now. Maybe because of he was layoff. Maybe he's hungry now. So I think for sport it will be good if Conor McGregor comes and show good fights, and if he wins, that would be huge. But I think Max Holloway has a more chance. But I kind of want more Conor McGregor.
You want McGregor to win?
Yeah, because it's gonna be huge and big.
Merab Dvalishvili sees stages on both sides, and never something nobody else can look at level. Conor, however, brings something nobody else can replicate. A long layoff can suffice it, but it can sometimes create doubt but it can also create hunger. If Gregor has truly spent these last several months preparing like the old days thinks, then this fight becomes much harder to predict than many people think.
Really?
It's going to be dangerous for Max early though. Listen, me and Conor aren't exactly friendly, but what I'm saying is, so I'm not saying this from a perspective of we're friends and we're buddies. He was the 2 weight division champion. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, he made all this money and all the rest of it. But the man's the most powerful tool.
Yeah.
And the guy that was there, all right, granted, it was a long time ago, 2016. But if the motivation's strong enough, he can come back and look really good. And yeah, he was flipping out at Max the other day in that interview.
Did you see that?
But he was playing the game. He was promoting the fight, hyping it up big time, and he looks good. You know, like he looks like he's training and taking the camp seriously. And if he is doing that, I'm telling you.
But I think
Max is awesome on the feet, but Conor's got the power.
Michael Bisping refuses to dismiss Conor for one simple success thing. McGregor has already achieved fame, championships, for financial success. He doesn't need another fight to secure his legacy. That's why Bisping believes this comeback is being driven by something much deeper. Conor has genuinely at UFC 3 in love with competition, could surprise Dake a lot of people. Then the version we see
gonna have the knockout power. I think it's very similar to the Ilya fight. Max Holloway is more like an Uzi. The consistency, the significant strike numbers he has is out of this world. It's bing, 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 ding, 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 ding. It's always in your face. It's constant movement. It's touch, touch, go, touch, touch, move, move, advance, play. It's constant activity. But he doesn't have that one punch power, that shotgun. That's what Conor has. Conor's always had that shotgun. If that left hand lands, it's game over. If I'm Conor, I'd walk his ass down. I'd put his back to the cage. I'd go high, I'd go low, I'd go high, I'd go low. I'd keep him guessing, and I'd put everything straight down the middle. And then sneak one around the corner when he doesn't expect it. I hope that's it. Good night. Look at the state of the UFC over the last couple of months. You can't say that anybody's going to win.
Ian Gary believed this win in completely different ways, because Max Holloway is known for his relentless pace, constant pressure, and endless 5 rounds that slowly wear opponents down over 5 rounds. He overwhelms fighters with volume and never gives them a chance to breathe. Conor McGregor, however, has built his career on precision, timing, and devastating knockout power. Because one perfectly placed left hand can end the fight instantly. It's a classic clash of styles, Holloway's non-stop pressure against McGregor's explosive finishing ability. That's exactly why so many fans believe UFC 329 has all the ingredients to become a truly unforgettable fight.
Max doesn't believe that for a second. Max believes that when he lost to McGregor, it was a very short time after that he felt he could compete with and beat McGregor. That's why it's fun. That's why the fight's fun, because not only do you have two guys that are elite at what they do, they both have an unwavering belief in themselves that they can beat the other guy and are going to do everything to make sure that happens. Hawaii's going to show up for Max Holloway.
Daniel Cormier believes this fight is bigger than rankings, making UFC 3 confidence in themselves, making UFC 3 Spirinine more than about momente. It's clash of Bichalik, fighter and championship mentality.
Conor McGregor, master of destruction. No one has a chance. He gets everybody. There's an argument that he's the GOAT. There's an argument that Mighty Mouse is the greatest expression of martial arts in the history of combat sports.
For years, Joe Rogan has described Conor McGregor as one of the most dangerous finishers the sport has ever seen. He broke them mentally before the fight even started. The biggest question now is whether that version of McGregor still exists. If it does, Max Holloway could be walking into the most dangerous first round of his career.
Obviously, the rematch was talked about. They're saying they want to do it in Sacramento. What do you think about that?
That's my stomping ground right there. Let's go Sacramento, NorCal. Let's go Netflix. And we're going to Sacramento. We're taking fools out.
Saladin Parnis said he wants to fight you as well. Is there any interest in that fight?
Who's that?
Saladin?
I don't know. And we start talking names when we talk.
All right. And any thoughts on Max Holloway and Conor Part 2? Do you have any predictions on that fight? It was announced today.
No, that's gonna be a good fight though. About time. Shouldn't they have fought a long time ago?
Yeah.
In a rematch, right?
Yeah.
Because Conor was taking him down the last time, and they both did good. Yeah, that's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah, Dana announced it while Francis Ngannou was walking out. So. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a good fight.
Thank you.
What do you think about the fight?
Oh, it's way overdue.
Yeah, it should have happened a long time ago, right? You think so? Yeah.
Even Nate Diaz, a man who knows Conor better than almost anyone. Like many fans, he expects an incredible fight, but he leans that this rematch over the last few years. Ward Max Holloway because over met the last few years, and that's really the story of UFC 329. Almost every prediction the old Conor, he can shock the world. If Max fights the way Fuchs comes, if Conor, say, comes over the last few years, he may finally get his revenge. After years of wait, months of speculation, and endless debate, there are no more questions left to ask. Only one remains. Who leaves UFC 329 with their hand raised? Drop your prediction in the comments below. Is Conor McGregor about to silence every critic and complete one of the greatest comebacks in UFC history, or is Max finally going to close this chapter once and for all? If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't subscribe to the channel and turn on notification coverage before and after UFC 329 and see you boom.